Amstrad CPC means a lot to me. Will you come and see how I play Dizzy? If you're in love with retro gaming, come and join the board. And if you want a Friday foursome, watch him and you could. Novabug.
How you doing, everyone? Welcome back to the Novabug channel. And here, oh look, there's a little clip there, I've just noticed. Look at that. So here is one of my CPC464s, aptly named Frankie, because she was put together from scraps. Well, essentially saved from a scrap heap. It's a cut down revision 3 board, and has developed a problem with the processor, which normally would go there, as you can see. That processor, however, has failed, and so we have got a new processor that we're going to pop in. It's exactly the same model, and we're going to pop that processor in. So I'm just going to quickly show you how it's done. This is a socketed board, which is good. Well, it's semi-socketed. So what we have is we have socketed processor, socketed gate array. The ROM is not socketed, and neither is the RAM. So in some boards, all 4 of those components will be socketed. Sometimes even the CRTC, but not often. This board has already been checked for all of its caps. All of its caps seem to be fine. It's been completely cleaned down as much as I can with the IP. The crystal clock has been checked. All the outports have been checked. It's been checked for resistance and everything else. It does work with a working CPU, which we tried from another machine. So I know that is that's the problem with the board. So I'm going to just swap this out, which is shouldn't take long at all. And then what we're going to do is show you a little keyboard membrane replacement. So what we want to do here is make sure these pins are aligned nicely before you don't want to bend any of these pins. Very careful not to bend these pins. Make sure they all align up before you give it a good old push, like that. And there you go, that chip now goes in, and we will test this board imminently. I've also got a test switch here. I'll show you this little test switch I've made. Essentially, so if you ever want to test a board for diagnostics or power current or current drop and things like that, you can just power the board on without having to connect it to the sister board, because as you can see, the sister board is obviously on the tape deck, and that's where it draws the on switch on, which is there. So what you can do is just create yourself an on switch like thus, and you can just put that on the first pin there and the third pin, and you pop that on there like that. That creates a nice on and off for you. Okay, so that's my little test on and off switch. So I recommend, if ever you're testing boards like this, it's easy to sort of create yourself a little device like that to do. First pin, third pin is your what you need. So that aside, what we're going to do now is look at the membrane. So we're going to put the motherboard the other way and have a look at this. Now hopefully this is in camera shot, which it is, yes. So I've taken most of the screws out of this membrane already. I'm just going to reach over and grab my screwdriver, which I've left over there. So most of the screws have already been taken out of this board. They're all here, as you can see, and there's another one up here. When you're taking these boards out, remember to put everything back where you found them. Like I said, I accidentally snapped a clip off when I was taking this one out before. Careful when you prise this out, because you've got your ground here, which will go on this tab over here, and then also you've got your LED on switch over there. So you want to lift him out very gently, and you can see the LED is actually falling out of position here. See, I want to stick that LED back in position. I can put a little bit of tape over that, put that LED back in position because it's actually fallen out of position, which is a bit of a shame. Don't know how that's happened. Anyway, put that aside for the moment, and this is where you can get your membrane out. Now you'll be very careful with these tabs. These tabs can be brittle, so very gently ease them open. You can see where they all are here, so gently ease them. That one's going to be a bit tricky. And then finally this one should give. There you go. Right, there's one that's hooked still. There's the one that's hooked still there. There you go. And once they're all away, you can take the ground cover off and then expose the membrane. Now, this membrane is originally from another CPC, and it has developed a bit of a problem. So, I'll move that out of the way so you can see. Here, as you can see, that is my attempts to repair it. So essentially what happened is that the track, if I split this apart, you'll see what I mean. It won't split apart now. There. So you can split this apart, and the track on this side essentially broke down. Now I tried, I know it's a bit messy now, I grant you, I know, but we tried conductive ink, which is what mostly this is. We tried a bit of copper wiring in there, put a bit of copper wire in there, you see, and none of it works. I've cleaned it off, scraped it down, put it back many times, and it doesn't seem to work. So come to the conclusion that I will retain this membrane. I will give it to another engineer, see if they can bring it back to life. But in the meantime, what I've done is I've tried a lovely company called Retro Fuzion from Australia to replace the membrane with a brand new one. So I don't think anybody has done a video on this. They may have. I'm going to bring this membrane in now. So this is a reconditioned membrane, and you can see the quality difference straight away. So we're guaranteed by Retro Fuzion that should be absolutely spot on to the original, and this is really much better quality. You can feel the thickness in that. It's much better quality than this. This is really quite thin compared to this, really quite nice and thick. Hope that's not going to be a problem. So we're going to just literally swap that out. It should be a complete like for like swap over. All the little perforations and components should absolutely align. It looks like they're going to do that. So we're going to take that one out and just slide the new membrane on. And hopefully it does. Yeah, it aligns completely. So there you go. So it aligns straight away, as you can see. All them little perforations have gone through. It's aligned up perfectly. So that is pretty much it. It's quite a simple, straightforward process to swap your membrane over. Just be careful when you're doing it, really. I've cleaned all the keys on the inside there. I've made sure all the springs are intact, all the buttons move, and they're free. So let's take the back plate. Make sure your back plate is nice and straight, by the way, because often these back plates can get a bit bent. You can see there's a little bend in that little crease. That crease happened obviously when Frankie was in the skip, but they can bend. If people are if you can imagine, that's that way up, yeah, and you've got people getting angry with the keyboard and they smash down on the keyboard like that. The plastic is actually going to bend and flex. The keys are not going to like you, but what's mostly likely going to happen is that your back plate is going to bend, and I've seen that in a fair few CPCs actually, where the back plate is bent and you get very non-responsive keys. So you're going to line that up very carefully and then just gently push it into position, just clicking the tabs back in. You don't want to force it. There you go. There you go. Gently push them tabs back in so everything clicks into place. And there you go. Check all the tabs are clicked in. They are. And there you go. That is now ready to go. This ribbon connector should go straight into the motherboard. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put Frankie straight back together, and hopefully with any luck, the keyboard membrane and the new CPU are going to rock and roll. So there's a little example of how to change a complete membrane on an Amstrad CPC464. Quite a straightforward and simple little video. Not brain surgery, but if anybody wants to like repair, like simple repairs on a CPC, for especially like keyboard membrane on these later revision boards, the flat keys, as they're sometimes known as, if this works, I would definitely recommend a Retro Fuzion keyboard membrane, because they look, I mean, the quality of it looks really good. It's guaranteed to work, so with testing we'll see whether it does work. So that'll be the next clip. Okay, so Frankie is now back together. New membrane and new processor. Should turn that off really, shouldn't I? I just realised that was on. So we will plug her in and see if the operation was a success. Turn the monitor on, and there she is. Frankie lives. She's back. And we'll just do a key press test on everything. So we'll start with the function keys. They all work. Yep, small enter. Cursor keys, copy. Yep, that works. Escape. Yep, that works. Let's go with the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Yep, clear. That works. Delete works. Tab works. Caps lock. Caps lock. Yeah, that works. Q, W, E, QWERTY op. Yes. ASD, J, K. And shift. That all works, and spacebar works. Yes. So, ooh. Does control work? Yes, so the control button is working, but not resetting. Hang on. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so reset sequence. Normally that shift would do the same thing. That shift works. Yeah. Normally you go control shift escape and that would be the reset. But it's not. It's control shift this side and that resets. That's strange, isn't it? But as you can see, that membrane is absolutely bob on. It's really bloody good. And yeah, that is worked perfectly, as the new processor. Frankie is back alive. So that was just a quick little techie video. I haven't done a techie video for a while on the Amstrads. Simple stuff, simple repairs, membrane replacement, CPU replacement, and yeah, back up and running. And I can recommend Retro Fuzion and their membranes for an Amstrad CPC464, because it's the only one I've ever found online, to be honest. There's plenty. You can get a few for the 644 and the 6128 and even the Plus machines in Europe and even in the UK, but you can't seem to find one for the 464. And the one that Retro Fuzion make, as I say, it's absolutely wonderful. That's really good. And maybe this shift thing's to do with that. Who knows? I don't really care, because at the end of the day, you've still got your key press reset like that. So yes, big thumbs up there for Retro Fuzion. Thank you guys, that was fantastic. That's Retro Fuzion Australia I got that from. You can get the keyboard membranes on eBay. So if you're looking for a membrane for your 464, you can get one. And I'll tell you what, their postage was ultra bloody fast from Australia. 5 days it took to get to the UK from Australia. So I can really recommend it. I'm not being sponsored by them, I promise, but I'm really happy with that membrane, because that's got Frankie up and running. We've got 2 CPCs up and running now, Frankie and Lollipop. 2 saved from death. There we go. I will turn that off. I will turn that off and say thank you very much. Novabug out.